guys, welcome to our July compilation video. For the new guys to the channel who haven't been here since the beginning of, say, June, or haven't watched the beginning of a month video yet, this is a video where we take all of the expected releases for a given month. Obviously, this is July 2016. And put it all in one easy-to-find place so that if you happen to be doing a little hobby shopping for the month of July, this is a place you can refer back to know what you should expect for the month. Now, of course, things can change at the last minute. Matter of fact, something that was on our list that would have been in the video had Revell not dragged their feet through the holiday weekend to get their official release list out, I would have told you about. But now all of a sudden it's discontinued, and we'll get to that in a second. So we bring about the Notebook of Knowledge, and we have releases out of Round 2 and Revell this month. There's no Mobius as of yet, or at least that I have not heard. And then we have 3 of the Japanese companies, possibly 4. We'll talk about that in a second. But starting on the domestic side of things, because we like to do that so that you guys who don't care about the Asian kits can tap out and not watch. Over at Revell, they're going to be doing 3 releases for the month of July. 2 of them straight reissues, and 1 of them a modified reissue. The straight reissues are the 81 Dodge Ram Charger. Now, this is an old 124 scale monogram tooling, 96 pieces. I believe the last time it was out was when they took a bunch of the old monogram 1980s trucks. There was, of course, the Ram Charger and the El Camino, off the top of my head, without looking, that were combined with bass boats and put out in some gone fishing, so to speak, box sets. This will just be the truck. It won't have the boat with it. And this kit sort of shows its age as being an early 1980s monogram tooling, and it is the evil 124 scale. But it'd be nice to have back, just in the general sense of the Bronco, got reissued a while back, and then they reissued the 86 Ranger F-150, a year and a half ago, I want to say. And so this is another one of those 1980s monogram truck kits. But necessarily threw the El Camino back out, since, again, it's another kit I didn't have, but I really don't want to buy the boat set to have, which is the way this Ram Charger is. This will probably be the 1/3 quarter release from Revell that I purchase. Maybe consider the Corvette C7R, the racing version. If I see some livery sets come up that are different than just the Team Chevrolet Daytona sets, or the Le Mans sets, if somebody ends up doing the 24 Hours of Le Mans, because while the Team Chevrolet livery isn't bad, it's kind of bland, and I don't know if there's any teams that are going to be privateering the new Corvette this year. So we'll see how that works out in the coming months. The other straight reissue, I guess I should say, is the 1969 Chevy Nova Yenko edition. Now, I can always hold out hope. We can all hold out hope that what they're showing online is not what you're going to get in the box. However, Revell has never been known to not show you what you're getting in the box, no matter how terrible that may be. And why that is terrible in a sense, not because the Yenko is particularly a bad kit. There's issues with the back end as far as accuracy of the way the panel and the sort of the rear fill panel are not angled properly, which is here nor there. Unless you have a Nova or are sitting it next to a Nova, no one will probably really notice. However, this kit does appear to be just a straight reissue of the original kit from about 9 years ago. And while it will have, of course, the fixed gas tank, that was one problem with the Yenko Nova when it came out, was the gas tank was molded into the chassis platform backwards. That got fixed quickly and hasn't affected the Copo Nova or the 350SS that were reissued subsequently to that. The problem with the Yenko Nova is, of course, you can't build a Yenko out of it. You have to buy a Copo Nova, which, of course, is a car that doesn't exist in real life, in order to get the bench seats, the non-SS grille, the non-SS tail panel, the poverty hubcaps and steel wheels, all of the parts. We've talked about this before, I believe, and one of the very few things that I've never uploaded to this channel, and I keep thinking about it. I'm not sure I actually have the videos for it anymore, were just probably a 30-minute rant of how stupid this entire situation was, where they didn't make the kit correct to begin with. So down the road, they made this non-existent Copo Nova kit to give you all the parts you need to make the Yenko correctly. This appears to, from the box art pictures that they're showing on Revell.com, to be a straight reissue of the original Yenko kit with the wrong SS grills, with the wrong SS interior, with the wrong SS wheels. They're all fine, perfectly fine if you're going to build, say, a 350 SS or you're going to build a 396 SS, but to build a Yenko Nova, you don't need those parts because that's not how the cars were optioned in Canonsburg to begin with, and you need two kits to make one model. Now, the side kicker to that, and we talked about this before, is that the decals in the Copo Nova include SS396 fender badges, which you can then build with the leftover parts from taking all of the Copo parts and swapping it into the Yenko or swapping the decal sheets around, or however you get around building your actual correct Yenko Nova, and you'll build an SS396 Nova, which actually was one of the rarest configurations of the Nova in 1969. The last but not least, and I meant to read you something directly, and I left my phone upstairs, so I have to sort of load it up in the background here on the old web browser while I'm talking to you, and that is the modified reissue of the 57 Del Rio Ranch Wagon. Now, we just literally did a kit review on this last week, or this week, depending on when this will get posted, and that was just a stock, Del Rio Ranch Wagon. It had police parts, but the 2-in-1 of that was, as we talked about in the review video, kind of loose and fast and loose because you really can't build two different things out of it. You just could put a siren and a light on it. That's not really a 2-in-1. That's just some spare parts. So they're going to be doing this 57 Ford Gasser 2-in-1, and the 2-in-1 here, again, will be a stock Del Rio Ranch Wagon and this drag wagon. Now, I want you to listen. This is going to read you directly the description of this model kit. The term gasser refers to a drag racing class developed in the 1950s and 60s. These stock-looking drag cars thrilled the crowds with their performance. The engine was in the normal place, but the revised front axle raised the front end and shifted the weight to the back. One of the most spectacular of all the gassers was the revised 1957 Ford. With a stylish redesign of the 1957 sedans and their high engine power, gassers reached new heights of speed and popularity. Kit features front moon tank, dual carburetors, through fender headers, tube front axle with leaf springs, and more. Now, the parts content on this kit is going to be 184 parts, which is about 30 more parts than the Del Rio has, which, of course, has about 25 more parts than you need to actually build the Del Rio Ranch Wagon with, which somebody brought up, well, why don't you like the options? I'm perfectly fine with the options, and this is what I said in the comment back to that person. Sorry, I don't remember your name right this instant, not to be disrespectful. But it's not that I don't like the options. I just think they should tell you what the options are as far as what the pieces are, and in the cases of, like, the supercharger, just give me how to put it together. And then put, like, a little question mark that Revell puts beside anything that's optional. Because more than likely I'll build that car with the supercharger, but then I have to go on Revell.com and the defective missing parts area to find the PDF for the instructions of the NASCAR kit in order to figure out how to build the supercharger. What I wanted to say about that description was it all talks about the 57 sedan and how great the 57 sedan was, so why are we getting a wagon gasser? Yes, the wagon gasser is cool, I guess. I know a lot of people are more psyched about that than it being the sedan, but I would have bought the sedan if it was the kit, because there is a really cool, we showed it to you originally back when the third quarter stuff was teased, when we thought it was going to be a modified version of the sedan tool, a black one that D&M Corvette Specialties did. And D&M Corvette Specialties, of course, is the manufacturer of the 62 Corvette gasser that Revell did. I don't need a wagon gasser. It doesn't do anything for me, but that black car was just cool to me as a non-drag racing kind of guy, and it would have sold me a kit that way. They're not selling me this wagon, and I just find it ironic with all the discussion of the sedan in the description. It's not. Was it gonna be? Now, on the other side, you could probably buy a sedan, if you don't already have one, and buy the Gasser wagon and then combine them, because a lot of the parts are going to be the same. You probably have to cut the fender wells out of the sedan because they're not going to be pre-cut the way the ranch wagons are, because this, of course, has always been something that's going to happen to the ranch wagon kit. But again, not buying another 2 kits to make one model out of Revell here, and it just drives me crazy, because that Yenko Nova could be put together, with the Copo parts in one box and not be such a laughable joke. Over on round 2, they're going to be doing 2 kits out of MPC, 2 kits out of AMT. The AMT kits are going to be the Lil Gasser Show Rod. This is basically I think it's a dual rear axle. I'm trying to picture the picture I just looked at. Show rod that has a little cartoonish miniature gasoline tanker on the back, aka Lil Gasser. It's going to be molded in what they're calling shell yellow, and it's going to be a catch the cat kit. And so one out of every case is going to be molded in metallic transparent red. Woohoo! You have new tires on the front and rear. Those are going to be pad printed, so that'll be a little bit different from the original. And then there's going to, of course, be new decals, and they're going to put tinted windows in it. I don't know if the tinted windows come originally. It's just named as a feature, so I'm not sure if that's a new thing or a restoration of an old thing. And then late in July, and that's literally what the order says, late, so this is probably more like an August kit, but we'll throw it here because it says late July, is the final fruition of the 1964 Plymouth Belvedere Lawman. I guess that would technically be, a Pro Stock? I'm trying to think of how they have the Color Me Gone and the Ram Charger, the 64 Fords Lindberghs did. Now, what this is a combination of the Lindbergh kits. We talked about this back maybe February, back when Nuremberg was, because I started showing the box art for this over in Nuremberg, or we may have talked about it other places. I remember discussing it before. But the reason why this kit couldn't come out when Lindbergh did it, and why it's taken so long to come out even after Lindbergh sort of went off to meet its maker, so to speak, and round 2 purchased them, is the fact that the Plymouth Belvedere has always been tooled to be a NASCAR kit. You'll recall that just this past month they reissued the Belvedere in the Richard Petty NASCAR format. The Dodge 330, I almost said 360, the Dodge 330 Sport has always been the drag racing version, and these two basically identical cars for all intents and purposes, although one's like a post sedan, one's a hardtop, I believe, were always separate tools. They never the twain shall meet kind of thing, where they were not interchangeable. So round 2 has had to go back and create entirely new suspensions for the kit, as well as new wheels and, of course, the Lawman decals. But finally, here, after probably what might be like 6 years of waiting, this kit is finally going to come to fruition, as, like I said, Revell Round 2 has finally put all the investment into it, to creating basically the entire new suspension components needed to make the NASCAR kit into a drag car, for lack of a better term. And so that was going to be coming out. On the MPC side of things, they're going to be reissuing the 72 Ford Torino NASCAR kit as a Bobby Isaacs number 15 Stay Power sponsored vehicle. This will be the old MPC kit, the one that Model King had reissued a number of years back, not the Polar Lights kit. And then also they're going to be reissuing the 1980 Plymouth Valero Roadrunner. Well, there's a kit that if you're of a certain age, you never thought you'd probably ever see again. Yes, the malaise era of plastic continues from round 2. This will probably be another kit I pick up to go with the Pinto, actually. This is buildable as a 2-in-1, so you can build it as like the T-topped, all customized fuzz duster, or you can build it as what more or less is a stock Valero Roadrunner. It looks like, to me, even from the box art, that the T-top cuts are pretty deep, that when they put the stock version together, they didn't fix the roof so that you couldn't tell it as a T-top. So you may or may not be stuck with T-tops, or you're just gonna, have to sort of, make your roof look better. It's going to include Goodyear GT tires that will be pad printed, and of course there will be a whole plethora of new decals. Now that'll take us overseas, where Fujimi was supposed to do 2 kits in the month of July, And I don't know what exactly we're going to see there in terms of, what they're doing. The Spoon thing that we just talked about in the weekly video, where the Spoon Hondas were reissued without any kind of warning and no availability, really. So to see only 2 reissues for the month of July was kind of a little, odd. There are, of course, we talked about in the weekly video that there are 5 reissues for the month of August. Well, this morning when I went into my HobbyLink Japan account to check to see if my shipping had taken place for one of the boxes I sent over, I came across the Toyota Mark II Twin Turbo 2000 GT kit, which was one of the July reissues from Fujimi, one of 2. It's listed as discontinued, which is kind of odd because it was never reissued to be discontinued from. So I don't know if that's a mistake on HobbyLink Japan's part, where they accidentally hit the wrong, kit number and flipped something there. But as we also talked about in the weekly video, the Toyota Crown 2000 Turbo that was supposed to come out in June, that I paid for, and that they're shipping to me because they shipped the box that this kit was supposed to be in, is supposed to not come out until July 12th now, and has taken the place of the Mark II. So I don't know exactly what's going on here with Fujimi. We're going to have to, keep a close eye on this to see if this kit really has been, pulled, and maybe there's something wrong with the tooling and they couldn't run it. It hasn't been reissued in probably 10 years or so, so maybe some damage to the tooling or something that they decided that they're not going to run it, or HobbyLink Japan has screwed something up, or what. But that particular kit is not on the current July reissues from Fujimi on their corporate website. The other Fujimi reissue is the Toyota Altezza RS200, just the standard Altezza. They did, of course, the Altezza Type Z or whatever it was called a few months ago. And those are, like I said, that maintains. That'll be the only reissue for the month of July, other than this Toyota Crown 2000 Turbo that Hobby Search has never got in yet, and I guess people are claiming it hasn't been reissued, but again, I have one, so I'm interested to see when the box shows up here towards the weekend what's in it, because something's in it, and HobbyLink Japan has something that nobody else has, which would be a really, really odd set of circumstances, because usually HobbyLink Japan's the last of the vendors to get anything in. If you're a HobbyLink Japan customer, you know how that works. The reissue from Hasegawa this month will be the Jax liveried Honda Civic EK6. We talked about this kit again in the weekly video because SK Decals will be doing some other liveries for it and recreating some of the other Hasegawa liveries in the event that they don't reissue any more kits. And then Aoshima has several kits that they'll be reissuing. Just straight reissues outside of any kind of new boxings. They're going to reissue the 1988 Lamborghini Countach with the fuel injection. That's the most recent of the Countach tooling that came out last year. They're going to reissue Sakamoto's Suzuki Cappuccino from the initial D series. Pretty much a straight stock Cappuccino is underneath all that. You just get like a racing roll hoop, a racing seat, and a sort of a front bumper cover. It really does just go over the stock kit front bumper to give it the sort of racing look that it has in the initial D series. And reissuing of the kit from season 1 of Knight Rider, the season 4 car, was supposed to come out in July, but it was reissued a few weeks ago. In the model car reboxing, this month Aoshima will be releasing the 1982 Nissan Skyline Super Silhouette race car, the Nissan Skyline R32 GTR kit, the Nissan Cedric 200e GL, that's like an early 80s Nissan Cedric, the most recent of the Nissan Cedric tooling, so it doesn't have, while it still has a pretty basic chassis underneath of it, it doesn't have the motorized chassis and stuff like that. They tuned the chassis up, so to speak, a little bit to make it a little more modern. And then reissue of the Subaru BRZ, which of course is the twin to the Toyota 86 Scion FRS, and I expect that kit will include the engine because the Toyota 86 reissue in the model car, which was the first of the new kits in that series, did have the engine. So I assume the BRZ will as well. In the Tune Car series, they're going to be reissuing the Toyota Hilux double cab lift up. That is the quad cab Toyota Hilux pickup truck on the sort of monster truck chassis. And then they're going to be reissuing the Nissan Silvia S13 Rasty, which is an older kit with some newish parts. That's actually a pretty popular kit. It gets reissued a lot, so having it just be in the catalog and not have to get reissued all the time out of that S-Type or R-Type series will be nice. The one other kit that is not officially on this list, because I have not seen any box art or any indication that will actually come out on time this month, is B-Max, the Nissan, I believe it was RS200 rally car for the 1983 Rally New Zealand. That brand new toolkit is supposed to be a July issue. However, again, I haven't seen any progress on it. B-Max hasn't posted on any kind of public forum since the end of May, right around the time that Shizuoka hobby show happened. So whether or not that's still going to be on time, we'll have to keep an eye on, and if it is, we'll let you know. Otherwise, that one will probably keep sliding until they, make progress on it. And I wish they'd get it out because, of course, once they get that out of the way, they can start working on that BMW M3 that we all want. So, anyway, guys, that is what you should expect for the month of July. I hope you enjoyed the video, found it educational, spent some of your money. Oh, the Lamborghini Huracan is also supposed to come out of Aoshima, which will have its own detail upset as well. I almost forgot about that because it's a new tool, brand new tool kit, 2 sets of wheels, all sorts of fun stuff there. But again, we haven't seen any significant progress with that other than Aoshima showing a couple of different ways that they had painted the wheels. They're not going to be they're not going to be actually in the box painted, but they painted one set red and one set blue, and just were like, hey, what do you guys think of this? People who knew they were the wheels from the Huracan. So hopefully that one will come out this month. If not, August. Again, that's something we're going to keep an eye out for the official box art, because once the box art is done, then the kit is a few weeks away. So that'll just come later this month, and we'll see what's going on. So with that being said, we'll see you guys on the other side.